Did you know that one of the most widespread real estate scams in the country is the pre-selling scam offered by developers? Hello Real Estate, George here, a unit manager from Filipino Homes and a PRC accredited and DHSUD registered salesperson under license number 0021980. And today, let's talk about why a license to sell matters in real estate. But before we proceed, if you are new to this channel and have not subscribed yet, please hit on the subscribe button and the notification bell so you'll be notified for any future videos coming up from this channel. So, you have seen a very interesting project posted in social media. It is in a prime location, walking distance to your place of work, and is a block away from a shopping mall. And more importantly, it boasts of a panoramic view of the city. The price is a bargain since it is pre-selling and you thought this is it. But is this really it? Most people would jump right into it because it is selling like crazy and you'd want to become part of the first movers. But before you feel like you are in heaven, let's go back to the earth first. Have you done an actual visit to the location? You see, the difference between a pre-selling project and a ready for occupancy project is that in pre-selling, you are basically buying a property based on paper. You don't see the actual unit yet compared to a ready for occupancy unit. So basically, you are putting your trust to the developer to deliver. And speaking of developer, have you done your background check? How long have these developers been in the industry and what are the projects that they have delivered? This will give you an idea on the quality of projects they have done and if they complete the projects as promised. And more importantly, have you checked if these developers were granted permit by the government? For those not familiar, one important permit that developers need to secure is the license to sell, or LTS. Now, a license to sell is a certification obtained by a property developer from the Housing and Land Use Regulatory Board, or HLURB, or now known as DHSUD. And part of the mandate of this agency is to register and license subdivision and condominium projects, farm lots, memorial parks, and columbaria. They are also tasked to monitor development and construction of registered and licensed projects. This ensures that the condominium project, when constructed, conforms with the National Building Code of the Philippines and its implementing rules and regulations. Without license to sell, developers are not allowed to promote projects. That is why you see disclaimers in their project presentations for announcement purposes only. But what if you have paid for a property and found out that the project does not have a license to sell? Well, developers don't usually call it a reservation fee if there is no license to sell yet because this would go against the law. What they do is accept letter of intent or LOIs from buyers signifying their interest to reserve a unit when the license to sell is issued. There are developers that accept LOIs only, and there are developers that also require a holding fee that can be converted into a reservation fee once the LOI is issued. And based on my experience, this holding fee can be returned or refunded to you should you decide not to pursue the investment so long as it is done before the conversion period. And aside from not accepting reservation fee yet, developers are also not allowed to collect equity payments. Now, there might be developers that chose to go ahead with the actual reservation and equity payment. The risk in buying a property without a license to sell is if the said developer chose not to continue with the development for some reason. It might be difficult to demand for a refund. Of course, you can hire a lawyer and file a case, but the stress, time, effort, and added expenses would make you wish that you would have done your due diligence before committing to a project. So, how do you check if the project has an LTS? Well, you can ask your real estate agent about it. Real estate agents should also not endorse properties without a license to sell, but just to make sure, you have to ask them about it. If you saw the project promoted in social media, the LTS should be the first question that you should ask. Control your excitement on asking about the amenities and the best view and price first, because if you ask those, you might forget or choose to forget about asking about the LTS. You can also check the LTS online at hlurb.gov.ph/online-inquiry and click on the list of projects issued with license to sell. But the list might not be updated, especially for projects issued with LTS this year. Then there is the temporary license to sell. This was stipulated under Board Resolution number 756 series of 2003 that provided for the issuance of a temporary license to sell or TLS to a condominium project and allowed the sale of condominium units to the public prior to the issuance of the project's building permit by the local government unit, subject however to certain conditions set forth in the said board resolution, intended to safeguard the rights, interest, and welfare of the unit buyers in the event a building permit is eventually not issued. If developers say that they have been issued with LTS and yet you cannot find it in the HLURB or DHSUD database, ask for a copy of the LTS to prove their claim. Remember, real estate can be the most expensive investment you can have in your lifetime. Make it exciting, but also make sure that it gets delivered. So, there you have it, and I hope you learned something new. Once again, this is George Ryan Sarmago, Unit Manager from Filipino Homes and a PRC accredited and DHSUD registered salesperson. Thank you for watching, stay safe, stay at home, and peace!